Hey dudes and chicks, and neither of those rules don't apply to you. Welcome to Makeup for Last Time. My name is Katie. Today I'm going to be doing a few different things. A couple of my subscribers requested me to do a get ready with me and to also use the Affinity 2 palette by Certifeye. And so along the lines of spring, because even though it's spring and it's going to snow tomorrow in Montana, I wanted to use this palette to kind of do something springy, and this is the look I created. Now I just want to give you guys a disclaimer. I talked about a lot in this video and a lot of things that people don't want to talk about and people don't want to hear about. And so if you're not into that, or if you're not interested in seeing how I got this look, then maybe this isn't the video for you. But I hope that people stick around, and I hope that I don't meet with utter rejection. So anyways, if you want to see how I did this look and hear me talk a bunch of shit, then stay here. So I'm just gonna kill two birds with one stone. Not that I kill birds. I don't kill birds. I mean, if I had to, these hard times, right? I'm gonna actually do my whole face. I've been using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Primer, ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Tinted Moisturizer. I'm gonna go ahead and get my face primed. I just did a couple little swatchy poos and I have eyeshadow on my finger, so if my skin turns a little blue, I'm not choking. It's just the eyeshadow. I'll let you know. I make sure and get my primer under my eyes really good to keep my eyes, because I'm older, I like to keep my eyes good and moisturized. These kittens are probably gonna make it into this video because they're such little lovers. I just take one squirt of this, and it's actually getting a little bit light for me, but I'm gonna bronze. I'm using the color Light 8 Neutral, and I'll list all the products that I use in the description box so that if you guys are interested in it. I love this foundation. I have other foundations that I love too, but this is what I've been using pretty much all winter because everything else I have is too dark. So this is a little too light. Like I say, it makes me look a little pasty. This is my Juno & Co. microfiber sponge. The thing that's awesome about tinted moisturizer is you don't have to have the color matched exactly. I have 10N right there, which is a little tiny bit darker, but I'm just a little bit nervous to use it because I don't want to look like, when your foundation doesn't match your skin tone, it looks like you're wearing too much makeup and trying a little too hard, which, bitch, I'm trying, okay? But I don't want to look like I'm working for it. I've been wanting to do some springtime looks, and you guys know how I love blue and green. Oh, we just had an accident. I'm gonna have to deal with that. You know, this is like one of the most important parts of your foundation, is making sure, like, patting it in. I just try to really pat it into all the places where I have crinkles. And this moisturizing foundation is pretty forgiving. Some foundations you can't sit there and pat it and pat it and pat it, or else your wrinkles just start looking worse and worse and worse. I'm doing the springtime look, and in Montana, it's supposed to snow tomorrow. Chemtrails! I'm not trying to say chemtrails, but chemtrails! I made a joke yesterday to my friends, and they were like, I haven't seen any chemtrails. And then they went outside and they were like, oh my God, there's chemtrails everywhere. And I was like, well, I was kind of kidding, but my jokes are always such that I'm always kidding about stuff that's actually happening. I wanna cry, but I gotta laugh. Orange Crush, mama, it's a laugh, laugh, laugh. All right, I gotta go deal with this mess that my kittens just made. The best thing about cleaning up messes is when you find all the shit that you forgot that you had. You're like, oh my God, I forgot I had this. Like that 40 bucks in your pocket, or that pair of earrings you didn't remember that you even lost. Your favorite dress in the laundry, you know. Here's where my routine gets a little bougie. I got my tax returns, and so I got the Hourglass veil. And basically the way this is set up is you just pat it like this. You flip it over, and what's in there, in that little dent right there, and what's in the thing is enough. And actually that's a little bit more than I usually use. And I just barely, I go right here first, and then whatever's left over, I don't set per se. You little shit. Oh my God, these babies are so sweet. I would literally let them do anything. I like get in here like this and pack that in so I don't have a crease in my nose. I'm going to use my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in the color Bronzer. It just seems like it'll match my... And I just start... Oop, here she comes. Here comes this little sweet baby. You want to say hi? Come here. Look at this sweet baby. This is where she likes to be. And I like to let her. I love these kittens so much. I love them. Oh, I should have wore a hoodie. I just wear sweats in my robe all day so that they can just climb up and do whatever they want. No, not my poos. My daughter made me these poos right here out of clay. No, not the poos. You're gonna have to get down, sweet girl. Watch this. I don't know if she'll do it, but watch this. Oh my God, I love her kisses. She's a fool for my kisses. Plus, if I run out of toilet paper, I can use the kittens to wipe my butt with. Or I can make a stew out of them if I get hungry. Oh, here she comes. Ah, the hunter. She's a good climber. Then I get my ears to make sure. My hair looks like shit. But that's all over the country, or the world. I'm gonna use my Saharan Blush Volume 2 from Juvia's place. I really like their blush formula. So I'm gonna use the color Tau. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's that like orangey red color. This palette really matches my skin tone. I'm gonna probably need to put some protective gear on. So this color just looks a little springy to me. Here comes the other little stalker. Little stalkeroo. And a little tiny bit for the nose. I'm gonna wait to put highlighter on to see what I feel after I do this makeup look. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I'm probably gonna take that out. I'm going to go in with my Louise primer in Rumour 02, my eyeshadow primer. And I'm just gonna use my finger today. In fact, I'll do both. I like my face game to go relatively quickly so I can just hurry up and get to the good shit. Which, don't get me wrong, I love doing my face, but you're probably not supposed to rub your eyes like this much. And then I've been putting it on the lower lid. Not a ton, but just a little bit. I'm doing all kinds of weird shit with my mouth. I've done weirder. I'm gonna go into the color Akib, this blue right here. It's going all in, you guys. I'm just gonna actually I'm gonna do taps and I'm gonna just build this slowly. I'm gonna use my e.l.f. blending crease brush. It's just a little bit smaller. I want this look to look springy, but I also want it to look a little bit hardcore so I can match my shirt. Just kind of feathering out that. A little bit more, and I'm just going to go into the center with it so I can really... I was going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be an addict in recovery right now, because I'm starting to float away, and it's been subtle. It didn't happen right away. It wasn't like I just was like, oh, whoopee, float away, yay. It's been more like little by little, I'm just starting to drift off from the reality that I've known, the routine that I've known, the routine that's like saving my life. And all of a sudden it's like I'm like thinking about the craziest shit, like getting a Tinder account, when like getting into a relationship or even getting into any kind of fucked up shit like that is like the furthest thing from my mind right now. Like I don't want any part of that. But I'm like, you know, drinking 7 fucking Red Bulls a day and smoking cigarettes, which is a constant fucking battle for me. It's just like I'm in and out of just all this bullshit, and I just realized, like, for an addict in recovery, connection is super important. Like, there's this TED Talk, basically like what you don't know about addiction, and I think that's what it's called, is what we don't know about addiction. And it talks about how the opposite of addiction isn't recovery. The opposite of addiction is connection. Founded on this idea that like when we're using, addicts are so isolated from everything. We get into recovery and we make these connections with people, and they're the people that like hold us accountable, and they're the people that are like-minded. Like it doesn't matter what you're in. Like if you want to be successful, surround yourself by like-minded people. Like that's what we do. Like as addicts, we come into recovery and we surround ourselves with like-minded people. Everything's closed. There's no meetings. Meetings are Zoom meetings, and it's just connection is like so important for me. And I'm finding myself like drifting off, where I'm starting to think like, well, if life as I know it is just about to end, maybe I should just drink. So many of the people I know drink, and so many of the people that I love, like I still hang out with so many people, and honestly, everybody drinks. You know, I was thinking about, I'm gonna do a video about all my favorite YouTubers, and one of my favorite YouTubers is Teresa is Dead, and she does this program called New Makeup Nonsense Bingo, and it's the best fucking show. Like she is so hilarious. When she does the show, she gets shrillied on the show, and it's fucking badass. badass, dude. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I find myself like wishing that I could do that and thinking like, man, it would be fun if I could drink on my show. I could drink on my YouTube channel and then I'd be way funnier and I'd be connected, right? Because I want to be a part of something. And so like, I'm finding myself like not necessarily wanting to relapse or use, but just wanting to be a part of something. And the truth is that if I drank on this show, I'd be having sex with my camera and then punching my box lights, right? That's what happens when I drink, because I mean, that's not what happens every time I drink, but it's a possibility. And so I was thinking I was going to go into this bright green right here, but should I keep it a little bit more? Fuck it, I'm going to do it. It's called Shiraz. Yeah, I'm not going to be sorry. I'm not going to be sorry I did this. So like, as much as I like to have sex with cameras, I mean, I'll take it where I can get it. That's not what I wish to do. I need to like keep myself grounded. And I guess the way that I've learned how to do that in recovery is to talk about it. And so I wanted to talk about like what it feels like to be an addict in recovery right now when everything is so disconnected and everything, it's fucking Zoom's day, kid, right? It's fucking Zoom meetings for everything. Like everybody's like zoomed the fuck out and like, I'm finding myself drifting off. And so I need to like give a voice to that. I need to just like give a voice to it. And I'm going to actually switch brushes. That one was a little bit too dense and not fluffy enough. And just like say like, this is where I'm at, and things don't seem to be like, everything seems to be like getting further and further away from me. Like my life isn't rooted in reality right now. My life is like in a fucking computer screen. I'm going to go back into that blue and I'm just going to reinforce it along this. No additional product. I'm just going back in with this Morphe blending crease brush. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not having the easiest time blending out this line, but my standards for blend are really fucking high. Like, I really like to have a perfect blend. So yeah, things are just weird for me right now, and I know that they're weird for everybody, and honestly, I'm pretty certain that it's not just addicts in recovery that are feeling like they're floating away. I feel like on one hand, I don't want to be the type of person that is holding on so tight to a past that's slowly disintegrating that I can't adapt to the new, right? Like I'm adaptable. I want to be able to roll with the punches, but not so much that I get like, I want to have acceptance without apathy, right? I want to be flexible without indifference. I want to be, I want to be able to roll with the punches without becoming dissociative, right? And so that's a thing for me that I have to be really careful about is like, am I just giving up, or am I adapting to these changes? I'm just right now like in a spiritual quandary where I'm trying to figure out what works for me. It's like the public school system right now for my daughter has her doing online classes, like 6 online classes every single day. Dude, she's in 3rd grade. There's 2 months left of school. Like, who gives a fuck about that, right? Like, if they start school next year, people keep giving us this idea that like, oh, the quarantine's gonna be over on April 24th. No, it fucking isn't. It's just started, And so anyway, I mean, I guess I can't predict the future, and that's where we all are at. We're all in this place of uncertainty, right? And I've just been like thinking a lot about stuff like that and how like, I guess I think I'm lonely. I think I'm getting lonely. The things that I normally do, because I'm like a social butterfly, and like I'm not doing those things, right? I'm sitting in a basement apartment where I didn't even see the light for 2 days. Like I didn't even know it was sunny out, and now it's going to be snowing tomorrow for my springtime look. Chemtrails. I'm not trying to say it's chemtrails, but it's chemtrails. No, it's probably just Montana. If you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. But fuck, who knows what's going on anymore? There's a million fucking crazy things floating through my mind, and I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling out chemtrails. I'm not ruling out using my kittens for toilet paper if I have to. I'd like to rule out the stew part, but you guys know. Okay, I was kind of questioning this at first, but it's kind of pulling together, and it looks pretty fucking good. I'm just gonna spend a bunch of time blending here because I'm fucking blend crazed. Blent. It needs to be blent. And honestly, I think if we can get this good and blent, it's gonna look just fucking beautiful. Beautiful springtime and hardcore. It's springy and nuclear winter. It's possible to be all those things. It's possible to be happy and sad. All those feelings can happen simultaneously. I never knew that before. I thought you either had to want it, you have to be all in or all out. Cause I'm an all out person, right? Like I'm a balls out person. Like I'm all in. Since I got clean, I've been able to find these shades of gray. It's like the space in between this blue and this green. It's what's right here. I try to stay right there. That looks fucking pretty. And that wing. What? I just added a little bit more pigment. And I really want that blue to be like dark. You know, match my earrings, match my shirt, my O-tap shirt. I'm gonna do a cut crease. What? A cut crease? Yes. Yes, friends, I'm doing a cut crease. And I'm gonna use my Makeup Revolution's cut crease canvas in Halo. And I'm gonna use my Sigma cut crease E62. I'm just putting this along my lash line so that I can look up. And then, so this is where my line is, right? And I'm just getting this good and soaked on here so that I can like flatten it out and get that edge like very crisp. And then I'm just gonna take it with the angle this way and I'm gonna start. And I want this to be a little bit more pronounced. I have a pesky brow bone. Right here, my brow bone is like fucking ridiculous. It's burly. I love that. I think I've had a breakthrough here. That's what you get when you take risks, right? You go big and you get big results. All right, I'm just gonna let that dry for a second. And I guess the other thing I was gonna talk about is like, just kind of thinking about, just tell you guys a little bit about myself. So I've gotten clean. I got clean one time before. And when I did that, I basically went to college and so for one, I know that most people think like we all believe in the American dream where if you just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, like you can go to college and you can make something of yourself and you can do all these things. And what I learned in college is that actually like my socioeconomic status made things very difficult for me. It made access to things like college very difficult. It took me a while to graduate. I relapsed halfway through, but I was a social work major. And so I went to college and I relapsed halfway through and I was so scared when I got out of treatment that I wasn't gonna fucking be able to stay clean that I took my time to go back. And so basically it's from the start to the finish, it took me 8 years to graduate. And when I graduated, I was only in the field for 1 year and I just had such a hard time. I felt like I was fighting so fucking hard every day to do my job that I just decided it wasn't for me. And so I decided to go to cosmetology school and start this channel. So basically I quit my job, I started this channel, I went to cosmetology school and literally for the first time I've been clean for 8 years, a little over. And for the first time in that 8 years, like I really felt like, okay, like I wasn't gonna use. Right? Like I didn't want to use. Like I've been busy and I've been in my routine and I've been loving what I was doing and like I'm surrounded by people that I love all the time and I finally felt like I was actually living my own life. And then the coronavirus happened. And so now I'm like in this like questionable area. So my background is a social worker. My background is a lot of things, but that's my college background. So here I am like trying to like hold together the pieces. It feels like I'm falling apart and somebody asked me to do a get ready with me and I was like, well, I mean, I said yes. And then I wonder, like, nobody wants to hear this shit, right? Like, everybody wants to get on YouTube so that they don't have to fucking think about this shit. I'm thinking about it. That's what I'm thinking about. And so when, like, get ready with me means listen to my spiritual quandary. Man, I can't believe how good this looks. There's no fucking way I'm gonna get the other side to look this good. Okay, so the reason why I did that is because I couldn't decide what color that I wanted to use. So now I'm going to do a badass ombre. Where did my notes go? I had my notes on my fingers and now they're gone. Right now in Missoula, at 8 o'clock at night, everybody in Missoula goes outside and howls for the people that are working in the service fields, for the social workers. I just heard my upstairs neighbors howling and I thought it was my kittens. I was like, whoa, they really want in here. They're out there howling for the social workers. It's badass. I'm gonna use the color Aftib, this blue shimmer, and I'm using my Zoeva 234. You guys know what brush I love to use with shimmers. And I'm gonna go right here on the inside with this. And then I'm gonna use the color Bilal, this green shimmer. It's like a tealy green on the other side of my Zoeva 230, or is it 232? Yeah. And I'm gonna use this to pat in here. I'm gonna use the pencil brush to get in that. And now I'm going to use that Juvia 234 to kind of just blend this over the top and just get that harsh line. That is fucking pretty. Wow, that's unfucking believable. I'm gonna take this Morphe N506 and I'm just gonna go back into that darker blue and I'm gonna give this a little tap, just a little tiny bit, so that I can give this, get that back in there. I'm gonna use my Kaleidos pencil brush and I'm just gonna go back into that dark blue and kind of define this line. And then I'm gonna use that same brush and I'm gonna go all the way underneath along my lash line with this. So yeah, I'm like out of the place where I'm feeling fear. I don't feel afraid. I'm just like trying to figure out like what's my next move. I'm gonna use my Juvia 230 and I'm gonna go into that lighter green. I'm just gonna be really careful with this because I am gonna try, I like this definition right here. So I'm just gonna use the tiniest little bits to be so careful to blend that out with. That is fucking baller, dude. I can't even believe I just did that. I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm just gonna go right here and kind of try to clean that little spot up. And I am definitely gonna use my Kaleidos. You know what I'm gonna use. My Kaleidos Skywalker highlighter. So I'm gonna use this to highlight my inner corner as well. I'm using my Kaleidos pencil brush. So the bottom line too of that story is like for me to tell you guys that like I've been feeling this way, like I've been feeling some kind of way, like filled with apprehension and like feeling isolated and like sinking deeper and deeper inside of myself to the point where I feel like I'm floating around in a bubble all by myself. And like, but what's actually true is the more people that I've said this to, the more I've come to realize like everybody's feeling like that. And so like we're exactly not alone. We're like not alone. We're like in this together. And so how do we as a community, as a planet, as a country, as a you know, as the beauty YouTubers, like how do we create a unified front? How do we stand together and do the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves and to take care of our planet and to bounce back from this, whether things are the same or not? If things are going to be the same, then easy. You know, whatever mess I've made by not doing what I need to do, then I'll just clean it up, right? It'll be no harm, no foul. 8 weeks, that's not, I've made a mess of my life for 10 fucking years. There's no fucking way I can't bounce back from making a mess of my life for 8 weeks. But like whether or not we come back from this the same, and like what are we coming back to, and like how do we be flexible and how do we stand together? And I believe that the way that we do that is by communicating. And you guys have heard me say it before. So I'm gonna do my other cut crease off camera. So I got it good enough for the guys I date, right? I'm just gonna let it dry for a second. So yeah, I don't mean to bring everybody down. Like I'm not like living in fear. I'm not gonna run from this. They're just the things that have been floating around in my mind. And so my sponsor was like, the key is to just be flexible. And I need to decide what flexible means to me. What does it mean to be flexible? What does it mean to still go after my dreams and be flexible? Like, and so flexibility is easy for me, too easy. I just go into denial and then I get really fucking flexible, right? Like I'll just go with the flow and I'll fucking, you know, they say if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. It's so hard for us to make any decisions right now because everything's so uncertain. If everyone was on the same page, then we could work together to beat this thing. But as it sits, we're all sitting here and they're going, oh yeah, it's gonna be lifted on April 24th. No, it's not. It's not. I'll be a son of a bitch if it gets lifted on the 24th. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. I hope it does get lifted on the 24th and then it's back to business as usual and I can keep going back to like, I just want to cut hair. Like that's all I want to do. And like I have to come to terms with the fact that I might be called to do something greater, right? And it might just be doing makeup. Like I think that what I'm doing right now is great. Right now I'm going after things in a way that I've never had the capacity to do before. And so like what I'm doing right now is great and it might not be enough. I might need to do something more. And so like, am I ready for that? Because I really just want to cut hair. I want to cut hair. I want to buy a salon. I want to teach girls, preferably girls in recovery. You know, that's kind of my plan, but we'll see. I'm not unhappy either way. I'm lucky. The life I have right now is so great. Look at what I get to do. But I feel like some decisions are at hand. Maybe not though. Maybe I'll get to just mindlessly go with the flow and everything will go back to the way it was. And I'm not I don't know if that's better, but sure would be nicer, easier. It's been my experience that when you're fighting too hard, you're not doing the right thing. Cause I'm a fighter, man. I can fight, right? But in my experience, every time I've spent so many years fighting for something, when I actually got to doing what was like I was actually made to do, it wasn't a struggle at all. They say that when you're in your higher power's will, you don't have to fight. The doors will just come rushing open. Sometimes when I'm in my higher power's will, it's really hard. Sometimes I have to make some really hard decisions to do what's in my higher power's will for me. But I think there might be a difference between being in your higher power's will and being in your calling. Because I feel like I've just come into my calling. It just got so easy for me to just get on board and do the things I needed to do. And I used to be the kind of person who was like, spontaneity is everything. And now I'm like, my routine was really important to me. It took me a lot of years to get that routine, and I want it back. I want it back. But if that doesn't happen, then that's got to be okay. Pretty. Wow, I'm really proud of this. I didn't know I could do this. Yes, I did. And where's my inner corner highlight? I fucking love this. So I'm going to use the NYX Slide On Glide On All Day Hard On in Sunrise Blue. Never been used, and it is not disappointing. Yay. Ooh, looking good. These metallics by NYX are the bomb. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, there we are. Oh. Man, that looks fucking pretty. I'm gonna use my Marc Jacobs Noir on the lower lash line and my Princess Lash. You guys know, I've been loving this. I'm gonna use my Bold Face eye wigs in Mega Babe, and I'm gonna put those on and I'll be back with the finished look. I'm gonna pick some lipstick as well. You guys have got to be bored as fuck right now. Actually, are you maybe offended too, or like, you guys don't wanna hear my drivel about fucking, ooh, boo-hoo, the world, and oh, all our problems. I just don't wanna float away. I'll be right back. All right, my dudes, this is the manifesto. This is the pièce de résistance. Septa, my girl. Yeah, I'm in love with it. I used Teddy Bear by Lime Crime. And oh wait, I need to do my setting spray. I'm using the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic setting spray. It's more like a hydrating mist. Give it a little fanny poo. Anyway, this is my go-to nude. It's the Teddy Bear from Lime Crime. It's just, this is my regular. This is actually one of the first products that I bought a second one of. I feel like a fucking makeup queen. Like, I actually pulled this off. So I wanted to give a shout out to the girl who asked me to use this palette because, is anybody else's internet being so fucking slow lately? Because everybody's living on it now. Guess we better go to 5G. Come on. It's all a part of the plan. The girl who requested me to use the Affinity 2 palette, her name is Lexi Love. That's her handle on YouTube and also on Instagram. And she is like a cut crease ninja. But if I can, you know, even come close to pulling off this cut crease as good as she pulls off a cut crease, then I'd feel pretty good about myself. So anyways, I hope you guys love this. I hope it wasn't too bummer. This is fucking beautiful. And I'm gonna leave with this. My sponsor did my star charts. Well, she's working on my star charts right now. And basically, like, according to my star charts, which she thought was very interesting and made a lot of sense, is that I came to this planet, I came to this life this time to make things beautiful, like physically beautiful. I feel beautiful, and I hope that some of you guys that are, you know, that watch my channel that are new to makeup and you're just learning, that you actually like learned a little bit, because I literally learned a lot about doing a cut crease from this video. So thank you guys so much for helping me in my learning process. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Hit the like button. Hit the like button either way, because this fucking look is badass. And hang out with me in the comments. Let me know if you want me to shut the fuck up, or things that you would like to hear more about, or, you know, less about, things that you might want to hear a little less about. You guys could be spending your time anywhere, and you guys were here hanging out with me, and I appreciate you so much. Bye.